All right, traders, welcome to today's midday summary. This is Christian Fromhertz, Tribeca Trade Group, and it's Wednesday the 28th. It's a quarter after 11, so we got Powell, big bad Powell coming up here in about 45 minutes. It looks, nobody seems to really want to get to, I think anyway, I don't want to say nobody, but it just seems like whenever this guy speaks, we've seen several Fed meetings. Today's not a Fed meeting, it's just a speech. I think Fed minutes are later though, but no, this is not a Fed meeting today, just a speech. And but people are, I think, are really have a lot of worry whenever this guy opens up his mouth. So keep in mind, I think every Fed meeting, the market has sold off. So really, the market does not like that. We saw the VIX rise this morning. So I would be mindful of that at 12 o'clock. We'll see if maybe if it's a, let's hope it's a non-event, and then we can kind of continue on with what we're doing, as these speeches seem to be a little bit of market disruptions. So just wanted to get that out of the way because it is 45 minutes away. It's funny how this market works, right? I mean, Salesforce up big this morning, NTNX up big as well, and I think people starting to look at tech. Also, the Chinese internet names, which were started the day up very positive on WB and Sina, and you see a lot of reversals. I think CRM is holding in here. Well, let's see. Let me bring up the 5 minute. Not able to get past the 200-day moving average, but you could see sellers have kind of come in and knocked this down. Same thing with NTNX, which had a price target reduction as well pre-market. So a lot of these names have given back their. It's just not where the momentum is, and buyers are not stepping in. Profit takers are, it looks like. Now this is so I like to start with the ugly first, and then we'll go into the positive. But Weibo, I mean, I was getting pretty excited about this because these are names that have been in massive downtrends. They had good numbers. I did not hear their comments from the conference call, but their guidance was a little bit weak for WB. Sina also reversed and has gone lower. And then other things like Baba, which luckily, I don't want to say luckily, but this is why you take targets. I took a target this morning. The name was up about 2% on the day, and I took targets. You have to do that, or anyway, I have to do that. Speaking about what I'm doing, of course, this video is for information purposes only, but you just cannot sit and try to let runners run in this market. You could let the last piece of the trades, but I've been talking about how this is for me, hitting a singles and doubles market, not looking for a home run. Home runs you get, you're going to get beat over the head with. And then what has the momentum today? So again, sticking to my theme with the market always kind of keeping everybody, a little bit off balance. Look at what Walmart, look at what some of these value names are doing today. So Walmart is trying to fill the earnings gap. Big set of declines after a big. So I've talked about Walmart a couple of times. I am long this name. Now finally in the money on this trade. So Walmart working out pretty well, but it's not just Walmart. Take a look at what Costco is doing. Maybe some of this is on the back of retailers getting whacked a little bit too much about a week ago. But Costco looking good. I had an earnings trade that I had in Burlington. Took this off for nice profits today. Put a call spread on for I think about $1.70, $1.80. Took it off for $4 today, so nice profits there in Burlington. So I think that is helping. Dollar General, which reports earnings, we talked about this name yesterday, up 1.4%. So again, this is where the momentum is for right now, at least in the morning, and it's not what people are expecting, right? I think people kind of came in and are looking at tech again, and this is the group. Or these other groups. Look at XLV. This is my only position. I started today is mostly about profit taking for me. Profit taking all over the place this morning. Again, thinking just very logically. This is not rocket science. But do I really want a lot of exposure into a Powell meeting? No, I would rather. Be wrong here a little bit, and with money on the sidelines with profits for the day, which I'm up nicely. This is the best day of the week that I've had so far, and again a lot of exits for me right around the open. So yeah, XLV looking good. Another name that I've been watching is trying to trigger here. This excuse me, Pfizer, very coiled, right? Coiled when you have three moving average wrap around one another. You got the 5, the 20, the 50. So I'm waiting. I've been waiting on this thing for a while to kind of break out. But I think once, if it goes, and hopefully looking for it to go to the upside here, if it goes, I think it's got plenty of, usually once names are coiled like this, they can really have an explosive move one way or another. Next, I would say the solar names quietly having a rally here this week. TAN is now up 7% for the week. We talked about Run yesterday. Run, I am looking for 1520, this big purple line, virgin point of control, where a lot of buyers and sellers have previously met up before. That's where I'm looking to take take profits and run. Haha. SETJ Solar Edge, nice member mentioned this morning in Solar Edge. Another name that's coming out of a downward, possibly downward channel. Really nice move today, up 5% today. So again, looking at some names that haven't done much at all right now. The healthcare providers, so again, more value. If you look at also CVS, which announced that I think they're fully taking over Aetna at this point. UNH is very strong. Take a look at UNH making a 52-week high. So I love these types of markets where names that people are not gravitating towards, and I think people are concentrating on other areas, but meanwhile it's value that's performing. So I love when things that are under owned, I view as a little bit under owned or maybe not under the microscope, are doing these moves. Right, we could go into anything that we want to. We're not limited, by just popular growth names. There's plenty of other things to do. And I love under the market rallies like this. In terms of option activity, I was able to make some nice money just scalping Juniper. If I can get in on a chatter name really quickly, but there were some weekly calls bought in Juniper. I'm now out of this, just in and out very quickly on Juniper trade. There's also what else do we see? eBay calls. Let's see what eBay's doing here. It's around the highs of the day. Another beaten up name. These were a big block of April calls that went up for eBay. So again, a very harsh looking chart. Maybe a name that if you want to take a shot at a counter trend trade, maybe a name just for a couple days to be in. I don't know. I would not. I would think that this name may bounce, but then eventually goes down again, considering the big downtrend that it's in. I also started a small trade in DPZ today. This is my pizza trade, Domino's Pizza. I think it's got a chance here at the 50-day moving average. It's got a little bit overhead resistance, so I don't love this chart because you do have this top of value that it's got to get through. But I think it looks okay. Just to kind of stick with what's working and what's got momentum to it. We'll also look at Chipotle, is up 2.6%. So food area is doing very well also this morning. A couple other names that we saw for call activity. The Mexico ETF that has really gotten slammed is seeing saw a big block of calls that went up. Let's see if I can bring this up here. It might still be on the radar. Nope. Oops. Looks like this may be frozen here. Oh, there we go. Just unfroze. Let's see. I don't think it's going to pull it up here, but big block of EWW calls. One thing that I think people are watching are small caps that have not been participating the last 2 days. There is some call activity in IWM today. A lot of it is against open interest, so I'll have to check open interest tomorrow. But let's go ahead and bring up all trades for IWM. But you'll see some big blocks. So that would be a good sign if small caps. I think that's what people are waiting for as well to see if this will come into play. Looks like these may have been sold, these puts. But this is where I would want to draw your attention to. Look at the size of the premium here. This is 7,000 of the December 152 calls. Again, so they're now over open interest. Right here is the open interest, 12,000. They're up to 14,000 in these. So that does look like a new trade at this point. Also, the 150 calls are active. So a put seller in IWM and a call buyer. Remember yesterday we saw some diamond calls that went up yesterday. Here's the EWW trade, and since the video is 10 minutes long, which is longer than I like to do the midday video for, but these were the short dated December 21,000 calls, $1.5 million trade in the Mexico ETF. All right, so we'll leave it there. That's it for today's midday session. Thanks for watching, and watch for the Powell testimony at 1 p.m. Or sorry, 12 o'clock.